See, brand is just a name, or it can be a symbol, it can be a sign which is given to a product, right? They have made their name. That means they need to go and they need to fulfill the government rules and regulations. The minute you see the symbol, the minute you see the design, you should remember that we call it as brand mark. All these things are nothing. Your image is you. If you are good, your image is good. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Abhilash Chandra from the Department of Business Studies in Vidhyaashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. Now in this session, we're going to understand about a beautiful concept that is about branding. What exactly branding is. Now here many of us, we know what a brand is, right? But when we go with branding, what is the impact of branding to a product, why branding should be done, what it signifies to the customers, what exactly is the benefit for the manufacturers. If you understand this tug war, then you will understand everything about why branding is so important. So firstly, we'll understand what a brand is. See, brand is just a name, or it can be a symbol, it can be a sign which is given to a product, right? And when we go with branding, what happens? Branding is a process. What is it? Branding is a process. And how the branding should be done? It should be easily adapted. It should be like everybody should know what exactly the product is. It should be like it should withstand in the market for a long run. Example, I'll tell you. Here, the late 20th century, or you can say that when the technology was in the boom, there were like two companies which came to the market. When they came to the market, already there was a gigantic company which was in the market called IBM. Now IBM is also what? It's a brand, right? Now the two small companies which came to the market, now they became very famous within 5 to 10 years. That is, initially only they started to pick up. Now they are MNC company called multinational company. Those two companies are, one is Microsoft, another is Apple. Now understand the difference, how the branding has impacted. The minute you go with the word Apple, right? Now the minute I say Apple has a company, you have list of product. See, that is the beauty of branding. That is how the brand should be. When you go with Microsoft, what happens is you have something called, okay, a computer is there, a laptop is there, then you have Windows has one of the thing. Okay, when you compare Microsoft branding and Apple branding, then you will understand Apple, the variants of the product, everything will be listed to you, even the dot by dot you can just connect to it. So these are the things which you are supposed to know. There is a beautiful example which I'm gonna give it to you called why branding is so important. The minute you see a logo, right, you see a symbol, now the minute you understand what exactly the product is, it's only through the logo or the labeling. What is it? The logo or labeling. Many of you don't read everything what in the labeling is, that is everything, discrepancy, whatever it is, you will not. Just by seeing the logo, you feel, okay, this is good. Now what exactly the branding is? I told you branding is what? It's a process. Branding is what? It's a process. It's a 1 mark question, student. Understand the question and then understand the answer, and you are supposed to write it. The process of giving name. What is that? The process of giving name. What exactly brand is? Brand means name. Branding means it's a process of giving name or sign, or you can say symbol. What is it? Symbol. So to what you will actually give? To a product. That is called as branding. So I'll tell you what it is. First is, it's a process of giving name. Then you will actually go with, or it can be a sign, or it can be a symbol, or anything to it. See, we say etc., right? So to what you will actually give? To the product. Now without product, you can't actually go with branding. No, even services are there. What is it? Services. But without a product, what happens is, for which product will you give service? So that services is also what? It's inculcated in the same thing, that is product with services. The brand image will be more. Next one is the various terms related to branding. What are they? First is brand. Then you have brand name. Then brand mark. That is a symbol, signal, all those things. Then you have trademark. So first thing is brand. What is this brand? It's why is that you will actually give? What name will significance? What are the brand mark? And what is trademark? Now trademark you would have seen, right? TM, that is called the trademark. Or you can actually go with, you will not have a circle, you have only this TM. So these are the terms which are related, that is brand, brand name, brand mark and trademark in the branding process. So the next one here is, what is brand? Brand is a name, it's a term, it's a sign, it's a symbol, it's a design or some combination of them to identify, what is it? To identify the product. It's a 1 mark question, students. So understand what exactly brand is. A brand is a name, it's a term, it's a sign, it's a symbol, it's a design or some combination. So it can be a combination of name, term, sign, symbol. Why exactly it is used? It is used for identifying the product, Without that, what happens? I'll tell you. There are many products where name is not given anywhere. That means you need to understand it is not standard product. Now there is no brand to it. That means no name. So just like that, it has been sold in the market. Example, I'll tell you. The local chips which you people actually get it from your bakery or you get it from the hot chips, what happens is there is no brand name, there is no symbol, there is nothing, right? It is like they have made it and they have just giving it to you. Now what happens to your health? What is a combination? What is the ingredients? What exactly it is? You don't know anything, but it is your own risk, you are eating it. But whereas you compare it with Lay's, Kurkure or Parle company, what happens is they have made their name. That means they need to go and they need to fulfill the government rules and regulations. That means they'll have something called standard. That's why brand is what? It is all in calculation of all these things. Standard is there, quality will be there, right? You will have quality. Then next thing here is what? It will be safe, is what they say, right? That is why branding should be very, very important. Brand is a comparative term which has two components. What is that two components they have? One is the brand name and the brand mark. Now I'll give you an example for a brand name and a brand mark. The minute you see a bitten apple, right? What exactly it is? The minute you see the bitten apple, you feel about a company. The company is Apple. Now the more examples if I give you, you just need to imagine, right? I'll ask you the question, you are supposed to just answer it, that which is the brand you actually get for your imagination. Then our first thing is a small bird which is actually flying, right? So you will get to know, yes, it's the color is blue, so it is Twitter. Beautiful. Then you have Instagram. How? I'll give you the company name, you are supposed to just think about the symbols. Instagram, how exactly it is? Alan Shirley, Hugo Boss. Now there are so many things. Microsoft, you have Oppo, you have Vivo. The minute I go with any of the names, only you will get to know the product also. Now this is about the name. Now let's go about the mark. Okay. Now there is a company with a Swash. Now the minute I go with the brand mark, you will get to know it as Nike. Which one? It's Nike. Now you have a symbol like this, right? Okay, it's actually like this, right? You have. Now which one is it? Again, here you can actually go for a shading. Let's not waste our time with shading and all. Okay. Now which is the company? It's again a sports company called Adidas. Now there are so many other kind of a thing. You have a, which company is it? Then you have Okay, all these things are brand mark. The minute you go with these things, you will understand. You have one more called the Volkswagen. Now how is the Volkswagen is that? You can imagine. Now see, I've just drawn the circle. I told Volkswagen. You have only drawn your own imagination. That is what it is. It's not about your imagination. It's about the brand mark which comes to your brain. Next one is brand name. What exactly this brand name is? Again, brand name has a significance. Just by the name, you can actually identify the product. If I go with this called jockey, okay, just by the name you will understand and you will imagine the product. That is the beauty of the brand name. When I say BMW, right, though BMW, they are into many of the products, what usually comes is the luxurious cars. Now BMW stands for Beresi Motoren Werke. What is it? Beresi Motoren Werke, a German company. Now in the English, if you pronounce it, it's like Bavarian Motor Works. Now from a small garage when they started, and what exactly has happened from Germany to the entire part of the world, everybody knows what is BMW, right? And you have just a name called Audi. The minute I say Audi, now you again imagine it's about the 5-seater or the 2-seater or the sports section, you actually go with it. Now when I say the brand name called Ferrari, right, you will automatically imagine the red car, right? You will imagine about Formula 1, you will imagine about even Michael Schumacher. Now all these things are what? Because of the brand name. So what it is, that part of a brand which can be spoken, we call that as brand name. So what is brand name? That particular part where you can talk about, you can speak about, we call it as brand name. Now Audi, we can talk about it. Now jockey, we can talk about it. BMW, we can talk about it. That is called brand name. In other words, brand name is the verbal component of a brand. That means the brand will talk. That is called the verbal component. Now I'll give you a few of the homework, students. You need to know there are few companies where the brand name is so important. Without that, what happens is you can't identify the company at all. Example is that we have Berkshire Hathaway as a company, right? Now Berkshire Hathaway, many of you don't know. The reason is you have not heard about it, you have not gone through it. But if you ask any of the stock exchange guys about Berkshire Hathaway, everybody knows about it because it is actually run by a person called Warren Buffett. Now Warren Buffett, you know, but which company he owns and what is that he does, you don't know, because of the brand name. See, there are few products only because of the brand name you will identify everything. Example is that Godrej. Now Godrej, the minute I'll tell you, you will understand that Godrej is there in so many places, right? So many products they manufacture, but the first product which they started to manufacture was the locks and keys. Now Godrej was very famous for what? Lock and keys. But now you have fridge, washing machine, it's a colorimeter, and it's like huge, everywhere it is there. That's what the brand name is. That means what you talk about it. Next one is brand mark. What is it? Brand mark. Now I want you people, it's a homework for you. Which is this brand? Which is this brand? And which is this brand? You are supposed to just comment in the comment box all these things. Now it is for the, if you have vehicles, you will understand which particular symbol is this, and if you have an account or you don't have an account also, you will understand this. And here one more is that this is a very, very important one. Many of you should know this, because I'll tell you, probably out of 100 students, probably 2 of them will only know about this, and 98 people will not know. So I want you people to know what exactly this brand is, and you are supposed to comment. Now here, that part of a brand, what is this brand mark? That part of a brand which can be recognized. The minute you see the symbol, the minute you see the design, you should remember that we call it as brand mark, but which is not utterable. Now I can't utter this, what exactly this is, I can't utter it, but name I can at least say that. Though I know this is Twitter. Now Twitter becomes what? brand name, but this word is what we cannot utter, okay, that we call it as brand mark. Now it appears in the form of a symbol, design, distinct color, scheme, or it is the lettering. That is, it can be anything which you will not able to utter it. See, when it comes to name, you can talk about it, but this, all these things are what you cannot utter, but it can be only seen. We call it as brand mark. Next one is trademark. What is this trademark here? Usually trademark is all written here, TM. Okay, now a brand or part of a brand that is given legal protection. What is it? Legal protection. See, let's have this. Okay, now is it a brand name or a brand mark? This is called as brand mark. It is not a brand name, it is a brand mark. What is a brand name? Audi is a brand name. Now I cannot copy the same thing. I cannot copy the same thing if they have taken trademark. Now if they have not taken trademark, now I can take this and I can write my own brand name and my own kind of a thing. That's why what is very important, trademark is very, very important. The brand or a part of a brand that is given legal protection is called as trademark. So it is given by whom? By the government, by the government authority. The protection is given against its use by other firms. Now there are, see, BMW can actually take this, right? Or Volkswagen can take this, right? But why they have not taken? Because they are protected by the authority, because they have taken trademark. Next thing is, you would have seen here also in Microsoft, right? Microsoft, here TM. That means nobody can actually take the word Microsoft. That is what it is. In that case, no other firm can use such name or mark in the country or in the world if it is an MNC company. That means, understand here, once you want to start your own company, when you register your company, what is that you should take? You will have a different name. Now there are, say, Abhilash Chandra, right? Abhilash Private Limited. Now there are n number of people who are Abhilash Private Limited, they would have started. Now I should have something called uniqueness or versatility, wherein I can take a trademark. Now when I check that no other company have the same name, now only then I can take it. After taking it, what should I do? I should protect it. That is legal through the authority of the government. Now I need to go apply for a trademark. Now I'll get a trademark. Now if somebody after say 2 years or 3 years, they also want to start Abhilash Private Limited, now they can't do it because I have already taken it. That's a legal thing which I should go for it. So I recommend everyone, whenever you start any of your brand name or a brand mark, what you should do is you should take a trademark. Here what happens is, trademark will protect your name as well as your mark. If not, what happens is anybody can take it. Or I'll tell you one more consequences. What happens is, if you have not taken trademark, now the customers are buying your products, right? Some other company also will start according to your trademark, according to your mark or your name. Okay, now the customers will have a dilemma, confusion. That's why, students, you should always go with trademark. So these are the things which we have learned in this session. If you have any other doubts, you can actually comment, and we are always there to protect you as well as to help you. Next one is advantage of the marketer. What is the advantage of the marketer about the brand? The first one here is, it enables marking product differentiation. That is, there are so many things in the market, right? So many things the wholesaler or the retailer will have. Now the minute you have branding, what happens? It helps him to identify the product. It helps in advertising and display programs. Now he'll get to know, the marketer in the sense the person who is marketing the products, he'll get to know what should be advertised, what should be displayed, all those things he'll understand. Next thing is differentiate pricing. That is, see, for each and every brand you have a different types of pricing. I'll give you an example. Apple mobiles and Oppo mobiles. What is the pricing? Now the minute I say about Apple mobile and Oppo mobiles, you got the pricing only. There is a differentiation. That is what it is. Easy in introduction of new product. Whenever there is a new product is launched in the market, what usually happens is the marketer, it is very useful if the branding is there. That means the name is there. Now he can go with whatever he wants with his unique, versatile imagination kind of advertisement. So this is what is the advantage of the marketers. The next one is advantage to the customer. What is the advantage to the customer? If the branding is there, brand name is there, brand type is there. One is it helps in product identification. I told you about few of the products, few of the names I have already told you. Aram se you can actually know that what is that brand, what is the product all about. It ensures quality. See, when you have branding, that means you have taken permission from the government, you have fulfilled the requirements, right? Requirements, everything. That means what? It ensures quality. And the last one is status symbol. Status symbol in the sense, if you use more products of these, your status will automatically go. The more you have Apple phone, Apple watch, Apple kind of a thing, people will feel. But I'll tell you what it is, students, all these things are nothing. Your image is you. If you are good, your image is good. It's not because you use good product your image will be good. That is what it is. So hope you have understood what all these things are. Thank you so much, students. I'll see you when I see you.